What's up, everyone? Monday Night Football Showdown breakdown. Steelers at the Colts with the GOAT, Bobby Millions. Let's do this. All right, welcome back to another Showdown breakdown. It is Monday night. It was a wild and crazy week, Bobbywow.
Crazy.
Absolutely bonkers. So many things going on. Honestly, it was hard to keep up with everything that was happening on Sunday, from like Jeff Wilson Jr. kind of like getting weirdly game flowed out of a game that this team was up 30-0. So they're like, yeah, let's get him out of there, which was weird. That chalk kind of exploding on us, to, Jacobs scaring everybody off of him with a late week Q tag, and then proceeding to have the game of the year, including that insane 86-yard final breakaway run. That was the one that put a lot of people in, like, you were far out of tournament winning position and then you won.
Yeah, exactly.
If you had Jacobs last week. A lot of crazy stuff. Want to shout out our own Sliders for coming in second in the DraftKings Millie Maker. I did a full review of this lineup, including how he got there using the Dom Station. That's his distribution. You can see there. 0.08 away from $1 million.
Yeah. That's incredible. The video is amazing. So if you haven't seen that yet,
if you're not subscribed to the channel and hitting the notification, you're missing important stuff, including how Sliders came up with this lineup. But man, so close to $1 million. So close. So congrats to him. Here's what that lineup looked like, by the way. Little Herbie stack. So that was awesome. And now we move on to Monday night. And by the way, last night's game, I didn't even get into the Sunday night game, which was absolutely bonkers.
Oh my gosh.
So much scoring. So many points. I thought early that, like, if you didn't have, I think one turd had put up, had scored, and I was like, oh boy, if you don't have that guy, you're screwed. Or if you didn't have, Sanders in your captain or in your MVP, you're screwed. But people just kept on scoring, and that game just went bananas.
Crazy, man. I want to say Statsational was all about pumping the over too, and I think that basically hit in the first quarter.
Yeah,
a lot of craziness.
That's right. Well, Sharp App did put out the over in that game as the play of the game, and a reminder, Bobbywow. That's a good reminder that we are still in Cyber Monday. And what I did earlier in the week, and I'm going to keep it going, is if you're, for DFS Army members or for even YouTube channel subscribers, if you want to check out Sharp App, you can. Promo code ARMY will get you a free month of Sharp App Pro, where you can follow, aside from Statsational, all his awesome plays, what I'm calling Geek's Greasy Parlay.
Woo!
Geek's Greasy Teaser Parlay. So I've been doing these teasers and been crushing them. Swept my Thanksgiving slate teaser, swept my Sunday teaser. Now I'm on a teaser roll. So you can follow my greasy teasers if you are subscribed to Sharp Pro. This weekend. So, we already talked about the Thursday one, but on Monday I teased KC, the Browns, and San Francisco. Never even a sweat. The Browns crushed it. I had them plus 10. No sweat. KC plus minus 9. No sweat. And San Francisco minus 2.5, which was, again, easy money. So I felt so confident you could put big money on it. It was a plus 150 teaser. We all crushed it on the Sharp App, so follow us there. And of course, now we have another showdown to take a look at. And before we get into even talking about the players, I want to show the DVP numbers. Bobbywow, you pointed out some interesting factoids from our DVP sheet here. And if you take a look here, you'll note that Pittsburgh is absolutely horrific versus the pass, giving up almost 9 points above mean expectation to the wide receiver position. It's notable because they are the worst in the league in that category.
By a full point.
Yes. So that means we want to target these wide receivers on the Colts in this game. They're also a little bit below average facing opposing quarterbacks. So I'm not super excited about Matt Ryan, but whatever. On the flip side, the Colts are very, very good against wide receivers. Hard to throw on this team.
Better than I thought.
Yeah, decent all-around defense, but particularly good versus the wide receiver. So with that being the backdrop, let's take a look at the matchups for this game. And we'll start on the Colts side. The Pittsburgh running back situation is a little weird. There's some weird shit going on the Pittsburgh side. So let's start over here on the Colts. And the big news is the injury at tight end. And I'm not really sure who is really going to be the prime guy, but we'll get into that in a second. Looking up at the top, Jonathan Taylor, 75% of the snaps for the running back snaps, but 88% of the carries, essentially meaning Jonathan Taylor is getting all of the carries.
Yep.
I do think it's noteworthy that Deion Jackson got a couple targets last week, but I also would note that he is not priced inexpensively for this slate. He's kind of priced like almost like a real full-time player, like a bad running back, full-time player almost.
Yep.
Which means that those couple targets that he might get, not enough. Not going to do it. Not going to do it. At wide receiver, I there might be a little bit of... Listen, you and I have a grudge match. This is Paris Campbell versus Michael Pittman. Paris Campbell, 80%, 98% of the snaps. Oh, your boy, 98% of the snaps last week at wide receiver. But if you note, this team runs 3 wide receiver almost all the time. So you've also got Alec Pierce on the field 70% of the time. As far as the target share goes, interestingly, Alec Pierce popped last week, but it's been about the same for these 3. And I've been saying this, like where Pittman is not like a better DFS play than Paris Campbell. I just think they're kind of the same. You disagree?
I disagree, but that said, let's put that aside because pricing allows this decision to be a little easier tonight. I think it's fair to say that.
Yeah, I mean, you're saving a lot of money from I think it's a misprice on Paris Campbell. Again, this is what we talked about this on the last breakdown, but you know, I remember this kid coming out of college. He was the #1 wide receiver coming out of his draft class, got injured 2 years in a row. I think Paris Campbell is an actual very good wide receiver in the NFL.
I do too. Yeah. I just think Pittman's great.
Pittman seems very good also, but you know, okay. Is he that much better? I don't know. Or at the very worst, is this a Chase Higgins kind of situation where they're both really good and you can't really. So my point is, I don't necessarily see why one would be priced that much more than the other.
Correct. Yep.
That's my issue much more. You know, I'm a value guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and there's Alec Pierce with more targets than either guy last week in the best matchup for wide receivers that you're going to get against the Steelers. So I like it. Of course, Jonathan Taylor's on this team as well, and he's going to suck up a lot of that offense. So be prepared.
Be prepared. Real quick, touchdown odds, just so everyone knows. Jonathan Taylor, -165. We'll do the top 4. Najee, +115. Pittman, 3rd best odds at +195. And Freiermuth, the 4th best at +245.
There we go. Love it, Patty Freiermuth in this game. But continuing on, so the tight end situation is a little weird. I think this may be where showdowns are won and lost. This might be it. This might be that area between Jelani Woods, Mo Alley Cox. Is Kylan Granson... He's not hurt, is he?
He was doubtful. I don't think he's going to play. The Colts elevated Nikola Kalanick. That's even how you pronounce his name from the practice squad. I think he's going to be the tight end 3 again this week. So I don't think Granson is going to play. All
right. So that elevates. But Jelani Woods is actually probably the guy who's going to benefit the most from that. Or Mo Alley Cox. Mo Alley Cox might be actually an actual good play here.
Maybe.
Mo Alley Cox, you once called a Mo Alley Cox smash game. That was like one of the most epic calls I've ever seen. I will never forget it. Are you going to make that call again tonight?
I think he could be. He's in play for sure. I don't think he's going to smash per se, but he's definitely in play.
Fair enough. Let's take a look at Pittsburgh here. Again, helmed by Kenny Pickett. Has not had a lot of big games, Kenny Pickett. This doesn't really set up as one where that's going to change. Recall that the Colts are very, very good against opposing wide receivers. So proceed with caution.
Yes.
Najee Harris, 91% of the snaps, back to 2021 or 2000's party's over. Oops, out of time. Tonight we're going to party like it's 2021. Right? He's back.
I'm feeling it. Yeah.
83% of the carries, essentially all of the carries, because the other ones went to Kenny Pickett and Deontay Johnson. So Najee Harris back installed in the all snaps role, being backed up by Benny Snizzles.
Yep.
A couple of other turds. No one to worry about. At wide receiver, Deontay Johnson and George Pickens are pretty much getting all the snaps. And the surprise here is Gunnar Olszewski. Where the hell did he come from? I didn't know he was on the Steelers. I thought this guy was on like the Patriots or something.
Oh. He was on the Pats forever, man.
Yeah, like he's on the Steelers
guy.
So he's just a guy, and he got a couple targets last week. You know, do with that what you will. He's actually not. I don't think he's even min salary. If Gunnar Olszewski,
he's min. That's the only reason we're talking about him.
That's what I was gonna. As at min price, we can actually fuck with him because he's min price, and he'll only need 3 receptions to probably easily make value. So we will have to keep him in mind. So you're getting a WR3 with 42% of the snaps for min salary, which is good. Tight end, I loves me some Freiermuth. Great play. 30% snap count. Young quarterbacks love their tight ends. It's hard to throw outside against the Colts. There's so many reasons to like Patty Freiermuth. I would say, and outside of Najee Harris on the Steelers, Freiermuth is going to be my second favorite play.
He's my favorite. He's the top play on the Steelers for me. Yep.
There you go. So we're in agreement there. So with that being the backdrop, let's get into the cheat sheets. I'm going to start on the DraftKings side in the captain mode. Now, right up top, obviously Jonathan Taylor, beast at home, slightly favored team, which is nice. Low total game. But it's Jonathan Taylor, and all signs do point to Jonathan Taylor smashing. The only thing that's going against it is it's kind of easy to throw on the Steelers. So there's that.
There's that. Yeah, I think Josh nailed it. He's a great play. He has not been the ceiling guy this season that we're accustomed to, at least from last year. So that's worth noting, and he is expensive. But, I mean, like you said, Geek, he's got the safest floor and arguably the highest ceiling, too. So hard to go wrong with JT.
Yeah, no, and he hasn't had that ceiling game, but he's due.
He's due.
He's due. So Michael Pittman, this is concerning because, like, all right, let me put it like this. Michael Pittman, just as much upside as anybody.
Yep.
He can get there. 10-2. Okay, fine. He's in the mix, but I think he's overpriced relative to if you're given a choice on your season-long team that you could play Jonathan Taylor tonight or Michael Pittman tonight, who are you going to choose?
Yeah, that's a good question. I love Pittman. I'm going JT though, I think.
Yeah, of course. Like you would always play Taylor ahead of Pittman. That doesn't mean that Taylor will have a better game, but like before we know who's having a better game, going right into it, you're like, fuck, what are you, crazy? Of course I'm playing Taylor. It's not even a question. And so they shouldn't be the same price, in my opinion, or this close in price. But Pittman can pop off. I
fully agree. And Josh nails it, as he always does in the notes. Like, I think that is going to put people off of Pittman. So we're talking GPP. This is an excellent GPP pivot if it's somewhere you want to go. It's an option.
Yeah, exactly as he said it. Like, basically, he's like, hey, a guy half the price can do the same because he can. Because Campbell's basically the same play for half the price. So, but Pittman can pop off for 30.
Yep.
Or if you want to listen to Bobby, Campbell's a slightly less good play for half the price. It's the same. All right. Kenny Pickett, wide receiver, quarterback. He at least runs a little bit. He does have some mobility. He'd have to run in a touchdown or two. I think it's unlikely.
It feels unlikely to me too.
Now, of course, I'm going to depart from DFS Up North here and his love of Matt Ryan. you know, I don't feel like a sneaky 400 yard Matt Ryan game is incoming at all. I just, you know, listen, that's why there's a few of us.
Yeah, and I'm glad that you said that because I'm with Josh on this one.
So make the argument for Matt Ryan here, other than that the matchup is good.
Well, I think that's the crux of the argument for me. The matchup is as good as it gets. And I think the Steelers are a team who they're okay with Matt Ryan beating them. They want to make sure Jonathan Taylor doesn't beat them. And they've got some weapons on defense where I think they could accomplish that if it's their sole focus. So I think that opens things up for Matt Ryan, who's already in a juicy matchup. And, you know, I like him more than I normally would for those reasons.
Dude, a pocket passer. So I'm going to make the counterpoint, by the way. And I love you, and I love DFS Up North, and you guys are sharp as it gets. My counterpoint is very simple. Number one, I don't play pocket passers as captain on DraftKings. It's too easy for their pass catchers to surpass their score. As bad as Pittsburgh is against the quarterback position, they're even worse versus wide receivers, which tells me that it's more likely that one of those wide receivers will outscore Matt Ryan. I would actually surmise that if we looked at Matt Ryan's DraftKings scores pretty much this whole season, there probably has not been a game, and again, I have not looked at this. We can look at it now. Has there ever been a game this year where Matt Ryan outscored? He did. So he outscored his wide receiver, all of them.
It's happened twice
this year.
Yes.
Well, there it is.
Yes. Most recently, I believe, was back in week. No, it was back in week 6. Back in week 6.
And what were the scores?
He scored like 31. I think Pittman scored 29. It was close.
All right. So it was that one crazy week. Yeah, but there was that's that little slim margin. Now
I'm thinking Josh is probably a little higher on FanDuel would be my guess. That's the way I feel too. FanDuel makes more sense.
Way more acceptable on FanDuel. I'm not down with it. I don't think Jonathan Taylor was playing in that week when Matt Ryan went off. And quite honestly, I just don't think he's got the same upside with Jonathan Taylor in there, an elite running back. Matt Ryan doesn't cross 20 fantasy points in this game.
Yeah, I think to me, Geek, looks like Speedway posed the question. I think that's the most interesting question on the Colts side. Can you play Matt Ryan with Jonathan Taylor?
Nope. In an onslaught, I guess, because it's a showdown, and it's very possible in a low-scoring showdown, you really have to be careful about the rules that you're making, because you know it is not out of the realm that Steelers put up 6 points in this game.
Yeah.
And then a 12 from Jonathan Taylor, even though he's priced up, that might be enough. So I would say if this was a main slate, I would definitely not pair those. Like if this was a Sunday, I would make a rule, just like I made this past week, which ruled me out of a tournament win, by the way, because actually I didn't make that rule, but somebody, the Millie Maker winner paired Kyler Murray with Jim Connor, which is crazy, but didn't make any sense. But in general, like I made the rule, no Jacobs with Carr. No, you don't want to play a guy like Jonathan Taylor and Matt Ryan in the same lineup generally.
But this slate, yes, it's okay.
This slate, I wouldn't make that rule against it. But again, I will not be using Matt Ryan as my captain. And if he burns me, I'll use him on FanDuel. But on DraftKings, if a pocket quarterback, listen, we got burned by Andy Dalton. This burns you once in a while, but it helps you more often than not. So like if you do it consistently, my take on DFS is do the same thing over and over again. Every once in a while, it's not going to work, but when it does work, you're benefiting. So that's how I do it.
I love it.
Okay, so where were we? Najee Harris getting all the touches. Yeah, I'm interested in that a little bit.
He's too cheap, Geek.
9,400's it's plenty. You know, that's fine. I don't want to pay any more than that for Najee Harris, but yeah, I mean, he's a little. Where could he be? 10-3, 10-2?
Yeah, 10K ish.
Yeah,
I don't know. Feels like he deserves to be above Ryan and Pickett to me, but maybe not.
I don't know about that. Yeah, no,
Okay,
I mean, he should be above Pickett probably, but he's been bad also. So, he had one good game. It's not like this
It's
guy's
true.
been crushing. Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah. One good game. So, and here's some mediocre ones like Deontay Johnson. Okay. Always want those pass catchers here. George Pickens, tough matchup, but of course he belongs here. Two of my favorites though, Paris Campbell and Patty Fryermuth. I'm going to read what Josh wrote about Paris Campbell, so it's non-biased. I love Paris. Pittman is a stud, but given what we've seen the last few weeks, Campbell's getting similar workload, and their upsides are very close. I love Campbell at this price point, and if he goes 7 for 70 to touchdown, he could easily be the nuts captain. Paris is insulated by the fact that he's much cheaper than the other skill position players on this slate. So he could score below what Pittman scores and get there because he's cheaper. And we love that. I love that.
Yes.
Patty Fryermuth, what a fucking beast this guy is. That's the dude that Pickett likes to throw to. And oh, by the way, the matchup very much pushes targets away from the outside wide receivers to the middle of the field where Patty Fryermuth does his operations. Touchdown machine in this offense, but they have to score for that to happen, which is another nice thing that Josh put together here. So with that being said, let's take a look at the turd zone.
It gets ugly fast.
It does. So Alec Pierce wasn't in that group up top, although I would say that he probably belongs there. If I had to find another one to squeeze into the potential captain group, Alec Pierce is in it. He had a couple of big games earlier in the season, kind of quieted up a little bit, but last week got more targets than either of Pittman or Campbell. So he can definitely get there. He's a talented rookie, super fast. Alec Pierce, he tested. He's one of the fastest players in the NFL. He's one of those combine riser types, but I think he's doing fine. I think he looks really good for a speedster. He looks pretty all-purpose to me.
Yeah, he'd be an entrenched WR2 on most teams, in my opinion. I think he'll be there for his whole career.
Yeah.
WR2.
Yeah, he's that kind of player. Solid. Lots of speed there. So Colts, Steelers defense, fine. I'm looking at the price points here, right? And we get into the zone. So you got Mo Alley Cox. Granson trending out. Cox will be the starter. Playable.
Yep.
Jelani Woods had a big game. Jelani Woods reminds me of the kind of turd that wins you a showdown. Rookie, 3rd round pick, very fast, pass catching tight end. He was drafted to be one of these pass catchers. Colts always have too many tight ends.
They do.
Beast Nizzles. You know what? What if, and I'm just going to say, because I have to always say it, Najee Harris could get hurt.
Yes.
Got the foot issues.
He
could get hurt. And then B. Sniz comes in and has a big game. Wins somebody $1 million. But that's probably the only, he's 200. He's the backup. Actually, I think he's kind of playable no matter what. I actually don't need to even make a rule. At 200, anybody who might get some touches is playable.
Playable, yes. Agreed.
Gunnar Olszewski, the WR3 for Pittsburgh, on the field, 50% of the snaps, only 200. That's pretty good.
Got to take a look.
Yeah. Now, somebody's saying they're getting Sims on the Dom station. Listen, just, I haven't looked at the projections yet, but in my mind, Olszewski should be projected higher than Steven Sims in terms of just the raw points.
It's bizarre, Geek, because Sims was getting a bunch of snaps too. I think they both essentially split WR3 snaps last week. It was just, I think Gunnar was targeted more.
Oh, Sims doesn't show up here. So I don't actually see what's Sims.
I don't know that he even got a target, but I know that Sims was on the field for 45% of the snaps. So really close, essentially the same.
Okay, here it is. So Sims, yeah, there you go. So Sims is basically the same shit as Gunnar getting about 40% of the snaps as well. So it's Gunnar and Sims, and So he could get a target. I think it's fine.
Yeah.
I think it's fine.
Hardly. Yes.
I think it's fine. Now, let's right here, we're going to jump over to DraftKings. But again, a reminder, we are brought to you today by the Sharp app. And Sharp app has a setup for everybody. If you're watching this today, DFS Army VIPs, DFS Army YouTube subscribers. Download Sharp app or go to sharp.app, the website. It's the best place to go and do the sign up. Go to sharp.app, sign up with promo code ARMY, and you'll get your first month of Sharp App Pro for free. Get in our Discord, follow our bets. You can track bets on the app. And the most important and my favorite component of the app, you know how you were just saying touchdown odds? If you go right now on the Sharp app to the game center for this game, you could quickly bring up every single prop for this game across every single book. We can see it right away. You don't have to search. You don't have to go to 10 different sports books. Just type in the player's name. You're like, I could do it here in a second, but you type in the player's name. How about Najee Harris, right?
That's what I've been doing.
Yeah, there you go. You got the app open because it's the most convenient because we built it for ourselves. This is an awesome tool. When you're looking at this game, you just go to the game center. You just click on the props for the game, and they're all right there. And you can also see, for premium subscribers, can actually compare the prop to the DFS Army projection and find where there are differentials. But even if you're not a premium, just a regular subscriber, and you're just like, hey, who's going to score a touchdown in this game? So I can just really quickly go here, and you want to know Alec Pierce? Well, he's between plus 245 and plus 400, depending on the book. Get the right book if you want to bet it. Get the plus 400, right? Let's go Najee Harris, right? So I'll pull up Harris. What are his touchdown odds? Let's see. Yeah, plus 120, plus 115, depending on the sports book. So about an average of plus 112. That's pretty good, actually.
Yeah,
that's pretty good for Najee, who's not been a big time scorer. And as far as Sims or Gunner, no idea.
I would have 5 to 10% of both.
Yeah, how do you choose? They're both getting 40% of the snaps. It's the same thing. I don't know. All right, so let's try to make a lineup before we jump over to FanDuel. You ready for this?
Let's do it.
I would like to start this one, Bobbywow, with my boy. You know who? Oh boy, Paris Campbell.
I love it.
So where are we going from
cheap? Yeah, I'm going right to Freiermuth.
Patty Freiermuth, your fave. Perfect.
I'm going Jonathan Taylor.
JT, for sure.
I'm assuming it's kind of like a hybrid. Nothing crazy, not super cash either. Going Najee as well.
Okay. So we've got 6,300 left per position. At this point, final two. Got Pittman up top. In order to get there, we'd have to put in a pretty turdly counterpoint. You got your two quarterbacks, Deontay, George Pickens, Alec Pierce at 5,200, which might be, you could probably get Pierce and like a Pickens. I would guess that the math would work.
Do it.
You like that? Or maybe
I like it.
A kicker. All right, so let's go Pierce. Pickens, man, you get a lot of good position players right there.
You either go Pierce Pickens. If you want to do something different, you could go kicker and one of the QBs.
Yes.
If you want to be more cashy. Or if you want to be more tournament crazy, you could go Gunner and then Pittman. So there's three pivots right there for three different styles. Yeah. Really easy.
Steve Lynn is asking if Pickett needs to be in a Freiermuth captain lineup. My answer, and Bobby, I'll let you say no.
I say no.
I say no as well. I don't think you need, I'm not saying don't play the quarterbacks. I'm saying you don't need either one of these quarterbacks in your lineup this week. Listen, Kenny Pickett's averaging under 14 points per game as a QB. Matt Ryan is a little bit better. Actually, Matt Ryan I'd be maybe more interested in, but again, Matt Ryan could get supremely vultured by Jonathan Taylor. I might make a decision like either Taylor. Like you could do the same lineup with Matt Ryan and no Taylor. And then, upgrade somewhere else, for example. Like
yeah. And here's the thing for me regarding the QBs. Like, it's not often that we look below the QBs and say, there's a very realistic chance several of those guys could outscore the QBs. And it's not like a small chance either. I think Deontay Johnson, Pickens, Paris Paris Campbell, all those guys could outscore these QBs. Not to mention, it's going to probably be a low-scoring game, according to Vegas. So it's not like Freiermuth has to put up 25 points to be the captain. So, I definitely don't think you need both of them.
Now, guys, before we get into the FanDuel sheet, I'm being told to mention that we've extended the Black Friday DFS Army sign-up deal through today, Cyber Monday. So if you're not signed up at DFS Army as a VIP, you can check it out right now in an unprecedented 20% off. Wait. Is it 50% off? Half off your first month? I can't even remember what it is. I think it's half off your first month of VIP at DFS Army using promo code Black Friday. So it's VIP. Promo code Black Friday gets you 50% off your first month subscription. Now, DFS Army current subscribers, don't try fucking around. It's for new subscribers only. Nice try.
I could see why people would want to screw around with that.
Yeah, they're canceling their account. Never cancel your account because you get the new rate. Your accounts on DFS Army lock in, and usually you're locked in at a lower rate because it only goes up. So never cancel. That is our goal. All right. FanDuel. Now, FanDuel heavily favors wide quarterbacks and running backs as the best plays.
Yes.
Right. So let's take a look at who Josh put in here on the sheet on FanDuel. And no surprise, it is only quarterbacks and running backs, with Jonathan Taylor far and away the top play. Jonathan Taylor's a beast at home, slight favorite, low total, so many reasons. After that, Matt Ryan.
Yep.
4-star play. I almost wouldn't play Taylor and Ryan together. Like, if there's some way to minimize your Taylor exposure with Ryan, you want to kind of do that, because it's hard to see both of them really doing a lot in the same game to justify those high salaries. Although, actually, Matt Ryan's cheap enough here that you almost can play him no matter what. At 14.5 on FanDuel, that is a very low price for a quarterback, Bobbywow.
It is. And I go back and forth on this, Geek, but there have been weeks where both guys have been in the high teens or 20, and that gets you there, I think. Jonathan Taylor scores 20, Matt Ryan scores you 17, 18. I think that does it.
Also, remember, low scoring possible game here, low total, low game total, low team total. So it could be. Steve is asking, I think I know the answer based on my knowledge of Bobbywow. But Steve is asking, how much Freiermuth captain do you like on DraftKings?
Oh, man.
Is he your favorite?
He's not. He's not my favorite. And
who would be your top guy?
It's because you don't necessarily need the savings in this game. So, like, the value points per dollar you would get on a normal slate where there were a lot of spend-up guys, I don't think you need to get there. And because and because of Freiermuth's ceiling, I think he's topped out around 15 or 16 points this season, maybe 17. I don't know. He's not my favorite. He's certainly viable.
But you like him more as a flex play.
I love him as a flex play. Absolutely.
Okay. And Hunter's spitting some stats here. Favored home running back in low total games, 35% RB captain. But of course, we're talking MVP now. But yes, I appreciate that. Jonathan Taylor is an excellent captain play. I think Matt Ryan, you want to pair him up with at least one pass catcher. If Jonathan Taylor finds his way into that lineup as well, okay.
Yeah, and just say it out loud. It hasn't meant anything yet, but no Nyheim Hines anymore. Could certainly possible. Jonathan Taylor could see another target or two and find the end zone. So can't rule that out either.
Yeah. Najee Harris could play, getting all the snaps at this point. Listen, it's not the greatest matchup in the world, but who's to say that Pittsburgh can't come in and dominate this game via the run? That could happen here. It could totally happen. Did you expect last night for the fucking Packers to go out and score, at will? They haven't scored all year. No, I mean, weird shit happens in one game sample sizes. So anything can happen here. Najee Harris will get enough volume to get there. And then, of course, Kenny Pickett, least favorite of the group. I'm going to read what Josh said about him because he put it really very, very bluntly. Pickett has zero floor, but the upside isn't awful. He's not afraid to tuck it and run, which gives him some ceiling. The only issue is he's not a very good NFL passer. I don't know about the last part. He's just not, he's young and he's still inexperienced. We'll see if he winds up being a good NFL passer or not. Only way he gets there, MVP, is if he ends up running one or two in. So he probably will need to do a little something with his legs to get us there. There's not a lot of touchdown catchers on the Steelers right now. Pickett is, but man, that's a tough matchup with those wide receivers. It's got to be almost Freiermuth.
It's Freiermuth. He's a TD guy for sure. Yeah, Claypool's gone. So what's crazy to me, Geek, is, well, number one, Kenny Pickett has scored multiple rushing touchdowns this season, but he has yet to reach 20 fantasy points, which is crazy. And he's throwing the ball a ton. I mean, some of these games, he had 52 attempts, 44 attempts, 38 attempts, 42 attempts. The Steelers are letting him loose, but he has not hit 20 fantasy points this season. So, not my favorite.
And just to answer this, no, Sharp App is not an operator of any sort of a game. You can track bets there, compare odds across books. It's much more of a line shopping tool. Plus, picks and advice. You can directly follow my picks. For example, I track in there, and so you can follow my picks. You can get all my plays and that kind of thing. And of course, all the pros that work over at Sharp, like John Statsational Alessio, one of the best sports bettors in the world, and you could just literally just tail their bets if you like, but you can compare odds, track bets, and do all kinds of other stuff like that. And also follow the games in real time in the Game Center, which is one of my favorite things. I'm always in the Game Center following my bets and watching the scores and all that good stuff. So let's check out the turd zone here. Now, first of all, wide receiver. So you got Michael Pittman, 13K. Where's my boy Paris? Yeah, 10-5, 13.
Not quite as different.
Yeah, less of a discount. I love Freiermuth here at 10K. At 10K.
And don't forget, we're chasing touchdown upside on FanDuel, which I think Pittman provides more of. He's 3 times better odds.
That I agree, very much so. And Freiermuth as well.
Freiermuth for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
FanDuel is all about those touchdowns. Pierce, interesting at 9,500 as well. Like, I don't want to forget to mention him, but like I said, he could get just as many targets as anybody else here on the team. Are you interested in these defenses?
You have to be, just because it's such a stinker of a game. And there's some weapons. I think we could see some sacks. The Steelers could end up sacking Matt Ryan a bunch. I think Hunter already mentioned that.
Yeah.
And Kenny Pickett isn't afraid to turn the ball over either. So both have to be in your player pool, I think.
And I very much like both kickers, but Matthew Wright, especially, is the one that Josh likes a little bit more. But I like both kickers here. These kind of mediocre offenses, they stall out in drives a lot, and they end up kicking field goals. Like when you watch Pat Mahomes play or Josh Allen, it's just less likely for them to kick field. They're in the red zone more often, but they put it in, they score, right? These types of teams in these low scoring games, they tend to kick a field goal. Like they don't get in. They, third down, especially inexperienced quarterbacks like Pickett, they have a hard time. The hardest time that an inexperienced quarterback has tends to be, in the red zone throwing for touchdowns. It is not good for young. That's why teams tend to lean on the running back in those spots or the tight end, or they wind up kicking a lot of field goals.
Yeah, so we got both extremes, right? We've got the young Pickett and we've got the geriatric Matt Ryan. So you're not going to see as aggressive of fourth down calls as we have in games like last night.
No, absolutely not. Now, beyond the kicker zone, which I'm not sure we need to venture based on the salaries above, we're going to try to make a lineup. I'm going to try to avoid this area.
There's one spot where the price difference from DraftKings to FanDuel is intriguing, given the situation. That is Mo Alley Cox. He is 6K on FanDuel.
There it is.
Touchdown upside.
I was going to say, except for these tight ends, which is because, again, on FanDuel, all we really want is a touchdown. And I'm going to scroll this up a little bit. But, yeah, Jelani Woods and Mo Alley Cox pretty much stand out as those two spots where you can probably catch a touchdown for a $600 or $5,500 player. So that's a pretty good wind up. Austin Smith is, everybody wants to go to DraftKings, even though we're on FanDuel. What's our favorite? My favorite captain on DraftKings is Paris Campbell. That's going to be my highest owned of the non-expensively priced ones. And then it would probably be Jonathan Taylor is my second. How about you, Bobbywow?
Yeah, I think it's tough to avoid Campbell. I'm going to have a decent amount of Alec Pierce as well as kind of a pivot in tournaments. I think Campbell's going to be more popular than the DS thinks right now. We'll see. But I like those two guys. And like you said, I like Taylor and Freiermuth as well.
There it is. Okay. Love it. And of course, some Pittman too. Why not? Again,
I didn't want to bring him up because
no, it's fine.
yes.
Listen, Pittman too. He could be the highest.
I like Pittman a lot. I think his ownership will be suppressed as a captain big time because he's overpriced. But I think he's had a couple 30-point weeks this season already. So
and he's got his guy back. He's got Matt Ryan back, a real quarterback. He can do it. So listen, there's nothing wrong with Pittman. My issue is, like I said, Pittman 7K, Paris Campbell 4K. That's been my
the price is huge.
It's just a pricing difference. Of course, I kind of think Pittman is probably better. I'm mostly joking about that, Bobbywow. Come on, man.
We got to have some riff, right? We got to
I know.
Got to have some beef. Otherwise, it's spicy.
Look at this Sunday Cyber Monday NFL Pooch. 2 cents to enter. First of all, if you don't have the domination station, you can make 150 lineups for this in 10 seconds. And if you are subscribed to DFS Army and you do have the domination station, you need to enter this 2-cent contest.
$3.
It's what?
Right?
Did you do the math? I'm like, how much is it?
I'm scared to say it out loud. I think it's
$3 to make 150 lineups.
And look at that. I mean, there's a million people in it, but you could turn $3 into $1,000. That's crazy.
Check this out. You're not going to like what this does.
Oh, yeah.
The mark of the beast.
You got to do 150, 149, and then one.
Hold on.
We've been down this road before.
I'm not going to let the mark of the beast ruin my lineups. Shit.
Oh, it already did. The mark of the beast ruined it.
It ruined it. Did I get any?
You could squeeze in 100. It looks like right now if you want.
No, I just took as many as were left. So
there you go. Okay.
All right. I was like, shit, if I don't sign up for that thing right now, I'm not going to be able to play it. Hopefully I got some lineups reserved just now as I had seen that a little bit.
49.
Oh, I'll go. I could do the snap. I only got 49 in there. So you know what? We're going to reserve the snap.
You can run 200.
Yeah. Now we'll run 200. That's fine. So I like the other one, but I don't need the mark of the beast marring me. Anyway, let's make a lineup. Everybody's like, why is Kevin doing his fucking work during my time? It's because you know what? We end up talking about this freaking game for 2 hours or an hour and a half, and then I don't wind up with any lineups. So all the contests fill. So here we go. Where am I? Okay. Let's make a lineup for this bad boy.
Let's do it.
So obviously the starting point for me, I mean, Taylor or Matt Ryan, gotta go Taylor, no?
Yeah, I like Matt Ryan, but yes, I think Taylor's safer for sure.
Can plug Ryan in there.
Got to go Najee then.
Let me see.
I don't know if you're going to be able to, but Najee.
This doesn't work.
Can you get
the only way that this works? Now we're at 77.50 left. So this is, you have to use Mo Alley Cox.
You go Pearson Cox, or you go Jelani and Freiermuth.
I don't love this one.
I hate it.
Oh, I don't like it.
So take Matt Ryan out. I think you're right. You either go Johnny Taylor or Matt Ryan.
Kind of hard to play them both. So let me do this. I'll get Najee in there instead. Now we're going to go Freiermuth, touchdown scorer. Put the better of the kickers. 11-5 left. Now we can go with George Pickens, whoever we want of this group. So can do George Pickens, Deontay, or Paris Campbell. We don't have. I kind of like Paris Campbell here. So how about that? Catch me outside.
There you go.
Not too bad.
No.
By the way, can easily pivot from Harris to Matt Ryan now. I don't love it as much because I really want that second pass catcher in there and a Matt Ryan. But kind of two ways to go here.
Johnny Taylor catches the touchdown. There you go. You got the nuts.
All right. right, screw it. This one's going to be the highest owned lineup there is.
Yes.
That's like, is this as high owned this could be? Is no chalkier than this. I like it though. All right.
Yeah, I like getting Mo, Cox in there, and then Pittman. But yeah, I mean, there's so many variations.
Yeah, definitely the Mo Cox version. So it's going to be fun to build 200 now for this thing. All right, guys. I think that's going to do it for this one. Monday Night Football ending a wild NFL Week 12. This has been a crazy one.
It has.
And I want to end it on a big note. Like I said, we had a 0.08 away from a million maker takedown. Scotty Newman taking down his 7th or I think it's like 15th afternoon slate of the season. There's only been 12 of them, and he's won more than there have been.
He's unreal.
Yeah, unreal. The system. You saw. Make sure to check out the week in review if you guys haven't seen it already. It's really, really important. Show you how to use the Dom Station optimizer. I basically show our standard back-tested set of rules that has led to so many tournament takedowns. I show you how to do it. I actually do it on screen. I prove it on screen by showing the Final Fantasy points. People don't like to learn. They don't like to look back. I lost money last week. I don't want to look at it. Those of you who do that, you will never win at this. So I beg of you, learn about back testing, learn about coming up with a system, and watch the damn show I put out that teaches it.
And I just want to throw this out there too. Okay. A little toot for DFS Army. I don't love patting people on the back on these shows, but what happens when Scotty Newman wins and takes down these tournaments?
A million DMs start hitting him.
A million DMs. And the first thing he does is he turns back into the Discord to teach his process. That's what makes this place different. So if you're thinking about trying to sign up, on the fence about signing up for the Cyber Monday thing, just do it, because the members here and the staff here genuinely care about making each and every one better players. So it's not like, oh, look at this guy taking down tournaments week after week. No, he wants to feed back in and help us learn how to do that as well. So if you're on the fence, so many reasons to do it. That's my favorite.
No better example than you, Bobby Millions.
Yeah. Scotty's just a lot smarter than I am. So
all right, good stuff. Good luck, everyone, this week. Remember, sharp.app, promo code ARMY gets you a free month of Sharp Pro, and DFSArmy.com, VIP, promo code Black Friday, 50% off your first month of VIP. You're going to want that one. It gets you everything we do, Discord, all that good stuff.
Double dip with the Sharp app.
Totally different. Two different things.
I know. They're
awesome
both
things.
For the taking. Let's do it.
Yeah, two beautiful things. Two great. It's like peanut butter and jelly.
It is.
Two great tastes. No, peanut butter and chocolate.
Oh.
Two great.
Are you a Reese's guy?
That taste great together. What's that?
Are you a Reese's guy?
I do like Reese's. Yeah.
Okay.
My favorite. All right. Favorite candy bar, Bobbywow.
Oh, man. Not a candy bar, maybe, but I like Reese's Cups. I think that's legitimately my favorite.
That is a candy bar. That counts. Reese's peanut butter cup. So I'm going to tell you, I've got two, and Reese's is in my top 3. So number 1 for me is the Kinder Bueno. If you have not tried this thing,
what the heck is that?
If you have, bro,
a Kinder Bueno.
I keep them. I keep these things close by. This is the greatest candy bar that's ever been. Kinder Bueno.
Oh my God. My kids eat Kinder Joy eggs. You know what
it's
those
from
are?
the same brand.
Yeah. Kinder Joy eggs.
This is called a Bueno, although that Joy egg is pretty damn tasty. But this thing is number 1. Number 2, Snickers. I like Snickers.
Can't go wrong. Can't go wrong. It
satisfies me.
It's like that's the classic. That's it. Go to.
Yeah, Snickers.
The timeless candy.
Really satisfies me, bro. I like a Snickers. Some people don't like a Snicker. I like the peanuts. I like a little crunch.
You need it. It's like it's energizing. Yeah. It's a little healthier than normal candy.
It's really not. It's horrible. But then I like Reese's, and I used to like Twix a little more, but I think I've outgrown. I think I maybe am too old for Twix. Like Vinny likes Twix. I like it, but when you eat a little too much. Yeah, by the way, all these things are horrible for you. And Mateo's right. Like sugar is the devil. Don't eat any of this shit. But if you have to eat one, Kinder Bueno blows them all out of the water.
Give me a Reese's. Give me those like, oh man, every holiday. Like right now they have Reese's Santas. They had Reese's pumpkins. Oh, they're all so good. I could eat a million of those things.
I'll give you another one. For Reese's, I prefer the thin ones. They have like a thinner version that they sell called Reese's Thins. And it's thinner than a regular peanut butter cup. It's like half the width. I prefer that one to the normal size one. It's called Reese's Thin. Listen, bro. I don't fuck around with this stuff. I'm testing every new product comes out. It's here.
Let me give you one more underrated. Okay. Go to the store. They're out now. Get yourself. They have these little marshmallow Santa Claus guys. They're like this thin. They are so addictive. Okay.
You just love anything.
Go find yourself some Santa Claus marshmallow chocolate.
You're such a sucker for anything Christmas related. Like
no. Okay. Anything. They do Easter. The Easter marshmallow eggs too. Okay. I'm a seasons guy and a holidays guy through and through, Geek.
Give me some pumpkin spice. Oh my God, pumpkin shaped Reese's, anything like that. You're such a sucker for it. You're exactly the market. Like you're in the store, like, ooh, more lights. I'm gonna get more lights for my outside. Where me, I'm like, dude, are you nuts? You want to get me on a ladder, climbing up, hanging shit on the side of my house, and then thinking the whole time about how I got to take it down in the snow? I left my house for the first time in a month today. I was like, I gotta go out. I was like, oh, it's cold out now. I didn't even know it was winter. I haven't left my office in a month. DoorDash is like, right. DoorDash called me. They're like, did you forget to order today? DoorDash calls me when I don't order. Like, Kev, are you all right? I'm like, yeah, why? They're like, well, you've ordered from us for 48 days straight, and today you didn't. We're worried about you.
They got the wellness checks on you.
They called up. DoorDash did a wellness check on me. Yeah. All right.
Oh my gosh. That's fantastic.
Who comes up with the shit? DoorDash does. What? Anyway, that'll do it. Let's make some lineups. Good luck tonight, everybody. Turds everywhere. Let's go. Take it easy, everyone. See you next time.